fair, I checked Merriam-Webster, and there are two correct pronunciations of poinsettias. It is poinsettia, but also the non-standard pronunciation of poinsettia, which is well accepted in the South, of course. So today, as we talk about the poinsettia, it's easy to see how it has been connected to the season of Christmas. Not only is it the bright, beautiful red that we see all around with our Christmas decorations, but the bloom is actually in the shape of a star, which has been connected to the Star of Bethlehem. So how did the poinsettia get to the United States? So the first U.S. ambassador to Mexico, Joel Roberts Poinsett, spent much of his time wandering around Mexico and looking for plants. He was very interested in this plant that had a bright red bloom. He took the plant back to his home in South Carolina and began growing them. Now, these plants grew to be 10 or 15 feet large, so they weren't the small plants that we know today. They were first sold by a man in Pennsylvania who clipped the red blooms from the large plant and sold them around the Christmas season. But it was the Eck family of Southern California that started growing these plants and worked on a method to where each seedling would bloom. Now, rather than having to be shipped by large pallet, they could pot these small seedlings and ship them around the country. The Eck family, outside of just being incredible botanists, were also great marketers and started sending their plants for free to television stations throughout the months of November and December. These plants showed up on The Tonight Show and the Bob Hope's Christmas special, where they were very quickly popularized in the United States. Soon you began seeing poinsettias everywhere, in stores and churches around the altar. If you've been to Trinity Sanctuary during the month of December, you can remember seeing stacks of poinsettias in the narthex and draped around the altar. It just creates the perfect Christmas scene. It wouldn't be Christmas here without these beautiful plants. So this is an interesting story about how they got to be popular here, but what is so special about this plant is the Mexican legend of a girl named Pepita. It was said that Pepita was a poor girl and did not have anything to bring with her to the chapel for the Christmas Eve service. And she felt like she could not show up empty-handed. So her cousin, Pedro, encouraged her that Jesus does not care how we show up. He just wants us to show up, in any gift given, no matter how humble, would be seen as beloved in his eyes. So Pepita, encouraged by his words, grabbed a handful of weeds on the side of the road. Now, these weeds were wrapped up in dark green leaves, and she set this bunch at the edge of the manger. And as the weeds opened up and showed the beautiful red blooms, those around saw it as a miracle, and the plant was later called the flowers of the Holy Night. So I want to encourage you this season, when you see the poinsettia around, and you will, thanks to the Eck family and their incredible marketing skills, I want you to be reminded that all Jesus asks of us is to show up at the foot of the manger, and to be there present for the story of the greatest gift, the gift that God gave us of Jesus, the Christ child.